It's not value village. It's not something where you just think, oh, we get rollback prices. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Dyme, and we back at it again. This is your first time here. Welcome. Come on in and grab a seat. However, if you are a babe, aka someone who is already subscribed, then you already know what's what, because you already know the vibes. I say that differently every video, but I love that for us. Today, we are going to be talking about how to pick a good plastic surgeon, how to pick a good doctor. Before we get too deeply into this video, I want to preface this video, drop a little disclaimer, and say that I am not a doctor. I am not giving you medical advice. I'm simply giving you my opinion on things that I've seen and observed and been a part of in terms of surgery and results. And just want to share that with you guys just in case it could be beneficial to you. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get it. Picking a good doctor will depend on a lot of different factors, because it is my personal opinion that all doctors are not created equally. In my opinion, just from being in the post-op care spectrum and then also having surgery myself, I think that how you pick a doctor will depend on the results that you yourself are looking for, your body type, your doctor's stats and, history and what they excel at, so forth and so on. Okay? So that is the first thing. Now, when you're getting a surgery, okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is pick a doctor that knows how to serve you and give you the results that you're looking for. Okay? And the first place for me to start is just make sure you guys are utilizing your real good common ground sense with this, right? The same person who does your BBL will probably not do your nose. The same person who does your nose will probably not be giving you lip filler, so forth and so on, unless you are getting fillers in your nose, okay? But as it pertains to like actual surgeries, a lot of doctors will not be found doing various different surgeries. Every doctor has a specialty, and some doctors may do multiple different things well. However, you might like a doctor for boobs, but you might not like a doctor for BBL or lipo. You might like a doctor for your nose, but they don't do a BBL or they don't do boobs. So you want to go with your ground sense on that. That's the first thing. Make sure that your doctor does well in the things that you're looking for. So for me, example, you will have some instances where a doctor may be newer to one specialty or newer to one area of surgery and have been doing another surgery for a nice long while. As you guys know, if you have watched any of my videos, I went to Doll's Plastic Surgery and my doctor was Dr. Berman. Dr. Berman did my liposuction. However, he also did my boobs. I personally wanted to get it done one time. If you do, 360 and all the rest of that other stuff, some other places, they don't allow you to do that. And though I didn't do 360, that made me all the better of a candidate to get my boobs done, okay? Because I just did my front and my sides, all right? Dr. Berman did my boobs. Dr. Berman did a great job. However, he is newer to the boob area. Some people say, oh no, he was a little too new for me. I don't want him to do my boobs because he is known to do BBLs. Cool. Or he's known to do lipo. Cool. And they might want to pick a different doctor. However, for me, that was not the case. I went to a doctor who was able to do my boobs and who was able to do my lipo on one swoop. My overall thoughts on Dr. Berman, he did great. He did great. I personally evaluated him for boobs because I looked at his videos, I saw his work, I looked at his Instagram stuff, checked the stats, everything like that. He didn't have any complaints about his boob jobs. And though he was newer, they looked good to me. I liked the way that they sat, and he was able to give me what I was looking for. To be more specific, I did not want a lift, and Dr. Berman was able to give me the larger implant. I had consulted another doctor, and they wanted to give me a lift. That's not what I wanted. And this was a well-known doctor, I think, at CG Cosmetics that everybody goes to. However, he was booked out for like a year, and then they wanted to give me a lift, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted just a larger implant because I wanted to feel the laxity in my skin. I didn't want to get any lift if I could avoid it, okay? So there's that. So you will have instances where doctors excel at one thing and then they don't do the other thing at all. And then you'll have doctors who do both and they do good at both. So I'm not going to say that it's only one or the other, but I want you guys to make sure that you are going into it knowing that they may not be able to do all of the things that you're looking for, and not to force it. If your doctor do crappy boobs, but he do a bomb booty and you want a booty, go get your booty done and then pick another doctor for your boobs. Feel me? Okay, cool. So that is how you evaluate a doctor based on specialty. Now, the second thing I would say in choosing a good doctor is make sure your doctor is good at the results that you're looking for. Like I mentioned before, when I said that I was looking for a doctor to give me a nice set of boobs without giving me a lift, my doctor was able to do that. Dr. Berman did that successfully. However, another doctor wanted to give me a lift, okay? So it's really good to make sure you're getting second opinions on these things. It's really good to make sure you are consulting multiple doctors. Do not get discouraged if a doctor says, oh, that can't be done. Ask another doctor. Make sure you're researching the results that your doctor produces. If they have an Instagram page, and they need to have an Instagram page, they need to have some place where they are showing their work, they're displaying their work. You can see what they're constantly producing, and you can gauge if that's what you're looking for or not. I know some people go overseas because they want a more snatched body. So that means that they want more fat taken out, which is something that you can't really get done in the US because I think FDA regulations or whatever. But over there, they can do it. They want a more aggressive surgeon. If you're looking for a snatch waist and a bigger butt, you know, some people call it like a Miami body, or you could go to overseas, like I mentioned before, and get those types of bodies. However, if you're going for a more natural look, you might want a doctor who's going to just take a little bit out here, a little bit out here, place a little bit there, place a little bit there, and give you a more natural silhouette. Every doctor has a certain way that they do what they do, a method to their madness. So if you're not looking for a bubble butt, do not go to a doctor who is going to give you that stripper booty and, you know, light on the legs, heavy in the ass, if that's not what you're looking for. But if you are looking for that, you want to pick a doctor who want to give you those dramatic results that you're looking for. So you wouldn't go to a doctor who's going to give you an everyday girl, nice silhouette. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to want to make sure you check in the doctor's stats, you know, what they're known to do, consulting with other girls. Make sure you guys even look into getting into some surgery groups on Facebook and stuff, and asking them, like, what was your experience with this doctor? What do the results normally look like? You know, ask everyday girls for their pictures too that you know went to these doctors, because sometimes doctors will only post their best work, and you want to see the median work, okay? You don't want to just see the best of the best. You want to see a nice, good mix to see if that doctor is more likely to give you what you're looking for, and if his method to madness is exactly what you want. Like, you guys might see previous videos of me talking about my experience with getting consulted at Elite Body Sculpture and things of that nature. I did go get, you know, a consult there. I was gonna go there. However, I wanted more dramatic results. I wanted, you know, them to leave my holes open so that I could drain. I wanted, you know, a good snatch. You feel me? And there are a lot of different factors that go into that. And that leads me to my next point. You want to pick a doctor that has the type of aftercare that you're looking for. I know that when I was working in the post-op care space doing ultrasonic cavitation, and when I was doing that, I worked in the same spa that did do aftercare massages, and a common complaint was they didn't leave my holes open. Can you reopen my holes? Can we drain? I need to drain more. I want to do this, I want to do that. And if you guys don't know why that would be important, if this is your first video or you're early on in your surgery research, most of the time when you are able to drain longer, you can get rid of a lot of that fluid and stuff that's in your body quicker than somebody who's had their holes closed, or the holes being so small that they close faster on their own. Some doctors will give you drains for certain procedures. Some doctors won't. Some doctors will keep your holes open for certain procedures. Some doctors will deliberately close them. Some doctors will tell you that it is okay to wear a faja, and some doctors will advise you against it. And you want to make sure that you consult the right doctor for the right aftercare that you're looking for, because if you don't, you're either going to be disappointed, confused, or going back and forth with your post-op nurse or your post-op care about what it is that you're looking for. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, if your doctor said don't do it or your doctor didn't leave it open, I'm not reopening it. Because then the liability will rely on them, or they'll be liable if you get any infections or any, complications. So that's another thing. Picking a good doctor has a lot to do with what exactly you're looking for in terms of not only just result, but aftercare instructions, okay? Here's an addendum to that. Here's an extra piece to that. When you go get surgery, you don't know how your aftercare is going to be. You don't know how you're going to feel after surgery. One of the main things you want to make sure that you are keeping your eye out for is, what is their post-op care like? And when I say post-op care like, I'm not saying do they offer massages and things like that, because that's, very important, and you should have already figured that out if you're going to be getting your post-op care massages with them, or if you're going to go with an outside party, right? But when you come out of surgery, you're going to want to make sure that they're post-op, meaning that they're nursed for complications, their, contact instructions, or, protocol for reaching your doctor if you have any issues and different things like that are to your liking. So many times people have gotten surgeries and they can't find their doctor after. Or they're getting a hotline and they can't get no real answers. And then they're trying to go to an outside doctor, and the doctor like, I ain't do your surgery, I'm not advising you, I'm not touching you. Or they go to a regular hospital, and the hospital is like, we don't know what to do, because they're not plastic surgeons. So when you want to pick a doctor, you want to pick a doctor who you can get in contact with if you have any complications or issues or questions, or you're just simply freaking out and your post-op care can't really advise you. You get what I'm saying? You want to make sure you can get in contact with them, because Lord forbid you have a life-endangering complication and you go and you talk to your doctor and you go and attempt to talk to your doctor and you can't reach them, because they're going to need to be held liable, and they can probably be your first point of contact on advising on what to do next. Because if you aren't familiar with this area, you're going to want to be clear that a lot of doctors will not touch you after one doctor touched you. So you want to make sure that you can talk to your doctor, because if you can't, you're going to be assed out, for lack of better words. You're going to be upset because you're going to be confused, hurting, bleeding, leaking, and not really know where to go. So that's another thing you want to definitely make sure that you are in the know about, make sure you are clear about, and make sure that you have your doctor's information on that as well. The next thing, you want to pick a good doctor, and while surgery really depends on so many different things, you want to make sure your doctor does not have a bad history. When you are looking at these results and you're like, oh, the results are good, okay. And then you talk to the doctor, will I be able to reach out after? And they're like, oh, I'm gonna be able to reach him after. And then you are thinking about like, oh, okay, everything's looking good, everything's checking out. But then you go and then you research the day before your surgery and you realize that 3 girls done died on the table. That ain't good. So you want to make sure that you are researching your doctor's overall history. How many lives have been lost, if any? Because God forbid, I don't think I would even feel comfortable going to a doctor that has had any deaths, to be honest, no matter what the deaths were from, because I would just be too creeped out. But you want to check that. You want to check, how many what's his complication rate? That's another thing, because even if you don't die, if he burning every girl that come in there via lipo, if, girls is complaining about one cheek being thicker and more rounded than the other one, he got uneven results. If girls are complaining about fibrosis, and not just because of aftercare, but just because their doctor is uneven in his approach, or all of these different things, those are things to consider, because that's going to cost you more money and more issues on the back end. So you want to make sure that you're asking these questions and figuring these things out as well, because Surgery is not one of those things you can walk into and be like, oh, okay, I got 10K. I'm about to get what I need. I'm about to get this, and this. I'm going to be straight. And then you don't research the doctor. You just go to him because of price and it look good. And then after you realize that he be burning up all his girls, you know, the girls be needing revisions 3 months, 6 months, 10 months down the line. And, you know, it costs you more money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're going to be looking for a value when you get surgery, but it's not value village. It's not something where you just mean, oh, we get rollback prices. No, you want to spend on a doctor who's going to give you what you want. He's going to make sure that you're going to be safe coming out of it. And he's going to make sure that the likelihood of you getting or having complications is as low as possible. Even infection. Are his girls getting infections? Are, you know, are people complaining about their approach? Is he easy to reach? How many surgeries is he doing in a day? Is he going to be tired as hell at the end of the day? Do you need to go first? You want to ask these questions and do this research too, because I know a lot of the time, especially if you're going to Miami, a lot of these spots that you get these consultations at, you go through a nurse first, or you go through the front desk, or you go through somebody who's not the doctor, and then you only meet the doctor on the first day. If you are looking for a more personalized experience with your doctor, you're probably going to need to pay more money. You're probably going to need to walk into the office. You're probably going to need to go to that doctor's specific office and talk to he or she. You feel what I'm saying? And get to the bottom of that. That is another way that you can kind of decide on what doctor is for you. Are you okay with a somewhat hands-off approach? Do you want to be on a first-name basis with your doctor before you let them cut into you? What exactly are you looking for? What kind of communication do you need from your doctor? So that is another thing. You want to make sure you're also picking a doctor that you feel comfortable with when you communicate with them. By all means, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you go into a consultation with somebody and they giving you attitude, or you feel like they stereotyping you, or you feel like they nasty to you, you got to treat surgeons like you would treat a man. Don't let nobody play with you and then give them some coochie, or give them some money, or allow them to cut you. No. Make sure you feel good vibes from these doctors as well. And sometimes their personal life will give you some insight onto what type of person they are too. So make sure you get the full-blown tea on these doctors before you allow them to cut into you, and, you know, make sure you're feeling comfortable and you feeling at ease, because 9 times out of 10, if you don't feel at ease, that is your gut telling you something. Okay, so that is another way to pick a doctor. Now, when we talk about price can kind of weigh in on what I just covered with you guys in terms of the type of doctor and the type of quality of the doctor. But I just want to expand on that a little bit more. So when you are talking about price with a doctor, let's just put it out there. A lot of people go overseas because our money, you know, kind of weigh a little heavier than money that is overseas. So therefore, the surgery is in essence cheaper, right? However, there are no FDA regulations over there as well, so it's a mixed bag. Not to say that it could be bad, but it could be bad, and it could be great. You don't know. It's a mixed bag, because the same standards that America holds their surgeons and their doctors to are not the same standards overseas. We actually don't really truly know what the standards are. You get what I'm saying? Because there is no quote-unquote FDA over there. So boom. And so it could be cheaper, and you could be getting a better result. You could be getting more for your money in terms of more fat taken out, in terms of more, you know, more of a value. However, you don't know the quality that you're going to get. 9 times out of 10, you are going to struggle with a language barrier, and, you know, people come back with horror stories sometimes. I remember one time I was getting a post-op massage from my girl, and she told me, like, yeah, a lamp fell on someone while the girl was under, and when she woke up, it was nobody to tell her anything. And so, I mean, here it would have to be a little bit more of some heads rolling, but over there, what could you really do? You're not a citizen there, you don't speak the language, so forth and so on. And then sometimes doctors will actually have their protege doing your surgeries, and you won't know because you'll be under. So you have to make sure that these doctors are reputable, and that the price that they're charging you is for their work, their expertise, and not for their understudies price. That's another thing. Even here in the States, you want to make sure that these doctors are charging you accordingly. If the price is super, super low, beware. I'm going to say that. Now, when BBLs and nose jobs and all the rest of these different things, you know, started hitting the streets, they were far more expensive because it was new to streets, right? Obviously, even elite body sculpture and things that are similar to that, with you being awake and then performing a procedure on you. Those are still more expensive because I guess they are looked at as more innovative or newer or, you know, less invasive, but they're still invasive. But traditional surgeries have gone down a little bit in price, but don't get it too low. If the price is something where you like, are you sure? If it don't sit right with you, don't go to that doctor, because again, why is the price so low? How many girls are you doing a day to make your quota? Are you going to be tired? Are you going to take the same care with every single person? You want to make sure that your doctor is doing what needs to be done. So with that being said, you want to consider price and, you know, why they're charging what they're charging. You want to consider why they've taken off certain prices or why they waiving certain, you know, fees and all the rest of that stuff too, because we all want a value. We all want, you know, a little sale, a little situation. You want to make sure that your money is going to take you the long way, which means you come out of surgery alive, looking good, and with minimal problems. Okay, make sure that they, you know, equipment is good. Make sure that, you know, everything is up to date. Now, here's the last one, but this one really should have been the first one. Do not go to a doctor that is not board certified, if not double board certified. You don't want to go to a doctor that's like, oh yeah, I can hook you up, come through back office. No, you want to go to a doctor that's going to hook you up, baby, that have people to answer to if they don't do the right thing. And not only that, the board certification ensures that they've gotten educated to the highest height of their profession and that they are for sure permitted to be doing what they're doing. You want to make sure. So a lot of the time you also want to research that. And if you don't trust what you see online, make sure you go in the office and you look at the walls and you look at them doctors and be like, can I see your certification or can I see your certificate or whatever, to make sure that these people are doing what they need to be doing. Because I'm telling you, this is your life. Yes, we all want to be snatched, we all want to be cute, but we do not want to die. We do not want to be botched. Because at that point, you might as well not even done any of it. And now they took your money and hacked into you. And that's not what you're looking to do. So those are my top tips on how to pick a good doctor. I'm kind of thinking about doing an ebook for girls who are interested in getting surgery, but just they need to know the basics and they not trying to watch 100 videos. Let me know if you guys would be interested in something like that. Put it in the comments. I know most of the people that watch my videos and are subscribed to me have subscribed for that type of content. So if that is you, throw a little hand up, let me know so I'll know where my surgery community is, and I'll make sure that I give you guys all of the information. Also, if you guys want a 1 year post-op video on how I'm feeling about my lipo, my boobies, and all the rest of that, let me know, because I do have updates and I do have thoughts. I hope to see you guys on the next video, and make sure you guys are getting your surgeries happily. Make sure you are being safe. And make sure you understand that it is a journey and it's not an overnight thing. And to make sure you guys know what you're getting yourself into. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.